Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
It is my pleasure to welcome you all to our first Fireside Chat of 2026, the business of food. I'm Dr. Reginald King. I'm the chair of the Business and Entrepreneurship Department here at Prince George's Community College. Thank you. It is an honor to have you all here, all of you students, my business students, to have you all here. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed guest panelists, faculty, staff, and most importantly, our students. Today's discussion is a unique opportunity for all of us to gain valuable insights into one of the most dynamic and impactful industries of the world, which is food and hospitality. Food is more than a product. It is culture, it is community, it is innovation, and it is business. It touches every part of our lives and represents one of the strongest sectors for entrepreneurship, leadership, and career growth. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce our esteemed guest panelists for today's Fireside Chat. An exceptional leader in restaurant and operations and hospitality management, Ms. Zandrique Harrold. Let's give her a hand. Zandrique Harrold serves as the Vice President for Restaurant Operations for Thompson Restaurants, the retail restaurant division of Thompson Hospitality. In her role, she leads operations across multiple brands, helping to drive growth, consistency, and outstanding guest experiences across organizations' expanding portfolio. Thompson's Restaurants is known for delivering excellent dining through a diverse collection of beloved brands. Ms. Howell is over 3 brands. She's over Milk and Honey, Big Buns, Damn Good Burgers, and Wise Guys Pizza. We are really happy, and it is an honor to have her here. And as I am speaking, I just saw our president walk in, Dr. Williams. Let's give her a hand. Thank you, Dr. Williams. Ms. Harrold leads, her leadership reflects what it means to manage large-scale operations while still maintaining the heart of hospitality, people, service, and community. We are honored to have you here with us.
Thank you.
I'm also pleased to introduce not one, but 2 outstanding moderators who would guide us through our discussion today. First, our Fireside Chat moderator, our old head, one that we've gotten used to, Dr. Kathy Yorkshire. She's the professor of business and entrepreneurship here at Prince George's Community College. Yes, let's give her a hand. Dr. Yorkshire has been with us and in the business department since 2001. In addition, we are honored to welcome Professor Nicole Clarke as a guest moderator.
Thank you.
Professor Clarke is the academic coordinator for our culinary arts and hospitality program and brings over a decade of teaching and leadership experience in hospitality and education. Professor Clarke, thank you, and please extend your gratitude. Dr. Bonini is here also, so we thank you for being here. This is a wonderful example of how our academic programs work together to create real-world learning opportunities for our students. So I'm going to turn this part, before I go, I would like to also thank the staff from Milk and Honey. Thank you for coming out and serving. We are honored. We thought that they were just bringing food, but they brought the staff over. So thank you all for coming. I want to also thank our interns, our volunteers, and all of our students that are here helping us serve. And our president of our student government is also here. Thank you, Jordan, for showing up. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this part over to our moderators.
All right. Thank you, Dr. King. And hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Are you enjoying the food? All right. Awesome. 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 Thank you so much. All right. Well, for those of you who are new to our Fireside chats, typically what we do is we go through questions. We have a conversation with our guests, and then we open it up to you all. So as you are listening to us ask Ms. Harrold questions, jot down notes and questions that come to mind. So when the floor is opens up, you can come to the mic and ask your questions, okay? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, Ms. Harrold. Let's first give her another hand for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And before we jump into our questions, would you mind, Ms. Harrold, just kind of sharing briefly about your journey and how you got where you are today?
Sure. So I have been in the hospitality industry for over 30 years. We started off as a barbecue restaurant. I'm from Arizona originally. And we had a barbecue restaurant growing up. And from there, I was like, well, I don't know about restaurants. That's how we all kind of, it starts. I then went to college, have a bachelor's and master's in psychology. And I didn't know I was going to use it every day in this industry, but I do use it every day in this industry. So even if you have a psychology major, you'll use it talking to people daily, both your staff and your guests. But after college, I graduated. I started working for Cheesecake Factory, and I started as a server. And I was just like, I'm just going to work here, then go back and get more education. And then I slowly grew through the ranks and became a manager. They moved me out to the DMV area. And then I left. Then I went to Great American Restaurants for 14 years. They're the group that houses Carlisle, Mike's American Grill, Sweetwater Tavern, that group. And then from there, I was recruited to Thompson. They recruited me a couple times. And I was like, no, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. And then I said, just come in and have a conversation. I came in to have a conversation, and here I am, wow. 5.5 years later.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, that's right. So for students who want to own a restaurant or start a food-related business one day, what foundational business skills should they focus on learning now?
We're in the business of people. So if you're thinking about foundational business skills, it's all about how you talk to people and how you develop relationships with people. As you go through this, you'll realize that those who have been part of a team before, a team being an athletic team, chess club, debate club, robotics club, any type of team, choir, any type of thing where you're working with other people, do that as much as possible. Because the more you do that, the more you're used to dealing with conflict resolution, the more you're used to having conversations with those of different nationalities, religious groups, sectors, anything. So the more you're able to talk to people who are not like you, the more you develop your communication skills, and that translates directly into business. Mm-hmm. So it's more of a soft skill than a hard skill.
Thank you.
Good advice. I like your answer there. That was perfect. For students who want to move into management, okay, what skills or experiences should they start building on now while they're still in school?
Start building on your curiosity. Be as curious as possible with all things in that restaurant or that business that you want to work in. If you have a question about accounting, ask questions. How much does this cost? It may be something minute, and then say, you know what, I'm going to take that on. We have a problem with breaking plates all the time. How much does this one plate cost? If that one plate costs $5, you know that every time you hear it hit the ground, that's $5. Now it's $15. Now it's $150, and that was one day. And then we have to go and replenish that more. And by building that skill of doing accounting in the process while impacting the shift. You're developing your leadership, you're developing your math skills, and you're showing your managers that I am somebody you should pay attention to.
Thank you. That's very good. Thompson Restaurants has grown significantly since 1992. What are the biggest challenges in scaling a business from just a few locations to over 70 while maintaining quality and brand identity?
Thompson Restaurants is an extremely fast-paced environment. Milk and Honey alone, when I started, we had 2 locations. Now we have 18, and by the end of this year, I'll probably have 6 more. 3 are in the works. So you're like, I saw somebody's face, they're like, what happened? How do you do this? It's all about the people. It goes back to the people. If you're able to really connect and you're hiring people who have the skills that you're looking for and has the same vision as you, then you have to then trust them to filter out that vision when you're not around. For example, I have one of my area directors in the building, Kevin. He started off with me he's back there looking like, why am I calling on him? So he started off as a front of house manager, and now he's the area director of operations. He did not necessarily have the vision coming in, but through growth and through development, he's able to be where he is because he took the direction well, and now he's over 8 locations within the Prince George and Charles County areas. So it's all about the people and making sure that they're consistent in what your vision is and having a clear vision of what you want to accomplish.
Thank you.
Beautiful. I have another question for you.
Okay.
What entry-level roles best prepare students for leadership positions in restaurant or hospitality management, and why?
Okay. How many people in here think that serving is the most important role in a restaurant? Okay, 1, 2. How many people think bartending is the most important area in a restaurant? Managers? Managers are important. Host? Food runners? Expo? The chef? Okay. So a lot of people going in thinking that they want to be a server, they want to be a bartender because it's the most glamorous. But the most important parts of a restaurant are the host and the food runner / expo. Why? Because they touch the most amount of people. If the face of the restaurant isn't the face that we want to see, then we're not coming back. If they're not smiley, if they're not bubbly, if they're not willing to have a conversation, they're not going to be the people that you want in front of your restaurant. So a host is very important. They have to smile. They have to be happy. They have to like to talk to people. If you don't like to talk to strangers, then hosting is not for you. As far as the food runner and the expo, they are the last line of defense for any plate that goes to a table. And they also make sure that every plate on that table is correct and the guest needs nothing else. So the attention to detail has to be somebody who's methodical, detail-oriented, and also likes to talk to people, but maybe not as long as spurts as the host likes. So those are the 2 most important areas that I recommend working in if you want to broaden your experience within restaurants. But also serving and bartending is important too.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And can we just stay there just for another minute? In talking about customer service, the whole experience, can you just share why that is extremely important? I know I'm not the only one that has gone someplace, restaurant or just a convenience store, grocery store, right? And whoever was serving me, the cashier or whomever, the experience just wasn't pleasant. Even just when you greet the person, right? It's important to speak, to just have the basic, I like to say, soft skills anywhere you go. So could you kind of just hone in a little bit on that?
Absolutely. So it's not always what you say, it's how you make somebody feel. Mm-hmm. And if my intention is to make you feel welcomed, if I say, can't really say everything and anything, right? So if I'm just saying, hey, and I'm smiling, you're going to feel welcomed. But if I'm saying, hey, and I have no expression on my face, then that's not necessarily the welcome that you're looking for. And you're like, do they really want me here? So the customer service has to extend not only in your words, but in your facial expressions, in your mannerisms, in your dress, in your appearance. Because if you truly care, then you're going to show up a certain way. If you don't care so much, then you're going to show up a different way. And the guest can sense that immediately. And that's the decision they're going to make, is whether I eat here or stay here or not.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. We speak a lot about that in class, the connection of product and service. There's a lot of great restaurants out there that offer a lot of great food.
Yes.
But if they don't offer the service connection, one, with a smile, then they don't stay open as long as Milk and Honey.
Very true.
Very true. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
Share one piece of advice with students who feel unsure about their career path.
I would say decide what's more important, being happy or making money. Both are possible. But if you decide that you want to make money now and you end up being miserable in the job that you're doing, you're going to repel everybody who comes around you that may have something for you because you're unhappy in your current position. If you decide that happiness is important, then you're going to exude happiness, and people are going to see that radiating off you, and you're going to attract more people towards you, and more doors will open up. Because you never know what blessing you may be missing because you're unhappy where you are, and it's not somewhere where people want to approach.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So lots to think about there.
Yes.
I like it. Okay. All right. Looking back on your career, what advice would you give students about navigating their first 5 years in hospitality and setting themselves up for a long-term success?
It's an interesting question. I have 3 children in college right now, and they all work within Thompson restaurants. And some of it was forced because I understand the importance of it, but a lot of it was because of the people skills that they're going to learn throughout the process. So talk to as many people as possible. Ask your managers questions. Decide from your managers, without telling them that you're doing this, obviously, but what skills you pick up from them. Is it their strength? Is it their curiosity? Is it their organization? What is it that you like about that manager? Take that piece of it and add it to your arsenal. And then go to the next manager and pick that thing that you like. In the process, you'll find things that you don't like, and that's okay. Just know that that's not the leader that you want to be, because you want to be a leader who people want to gravitate to. So take pieces of your managers that you love and incorporate that in whatever you want your leadership or management style to be.
All right. This is good. I hope you all are getting your questions ready. As Vice President of Operations, how do you balance creativity, such as food and branding, with profitability and operational efficiency? So, in other words, what does that balance look like in real decision-making for you?
In real life, not what you see on TV or movies. It's not like your Devil Wears Prada and they bring you everything that you need. That's not how it works. I do not have an off button. My team will tell you, but it's because I love what I do. So in real life, if we have a menu change coming out, that means that I'm communicating daily, often multiple times a day with my team, talking about pricing, costing, can we get these ingredients in? How is it gonna look on the menu? Did we get the photo shoot done? Is all the training done? Amongst 18 Milk and Honey locations, a lot of it is, okay, does everybody know the product? Can they talk about the product? Does the chef know the product? Can they cook it? If the chef's not there, can the staff cook it? So a lot of it is consistency and following up and following up and following up. And then once you follow up and you have a team in place that you trust, then trusting them to do their job. But sometimes it's you trust them to do their job, but then you still wonder, but then you have to trust that they're doing everything that you ask them to do. But real time, even if I'm developing a product, Chef Portia can tell you, I think she's hiding in the room, I might call her and be like, I had a dream. I had a dream about this dessert mixed with this dessert. Can we marry them together and make a dessert? And she'll be like, uh-huh. And then from there, we'll work through it. An example of that is the banana cheesecake pudding that's on our menu. I love banana pudding. And I love cheesecake. Cheesecake's one of the top-selling desserts in any restaurant across America. So I called her one day and said, if I put these banana pudding and cheesecake together, Chef Portia, will it work? And she said, uh-huh. And then she put together a couple variations, and we came up with what is now on our menu. So a lot of it's innovation, communication, and just finding the right person to help that dream come true.
Wow. All right. Thank
Was
you.
that banana pudding cheesecake?
Banana cheesecake pudding.
Banana
So
cheesecake
cheesecake
pudding.
is infused in the banana pudding.
That sounds delicious. It sounds delicious. Great job. All right. Many students are interested in owning and managing a food service business someday. What business skills or skills do you find that you use most often?
Stamina. Hard work, business skills. I would say all math skills we use on a daily basis. If it's calculating labor, if it's looking at your food cost, if it's looking at your revenue, are you going to make money that day based on sales? Looking at your hourly revenue, not just the whole day as a whole, but the hour. If I close this hour, will this be successful? If I close early, will that hurt the reputation? How that affects sales? Sales. Because without sales, nothing will last. So the more you use math, the more you can do mental math, which they don't practice a lot anymore. But the more you can do mental math, the stronger you'll be, because you'll get to the answer a lot faster than having to pull something out and to have to find the answer that way.
Interesting. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And our last question. Thompson Restaurants and Thompson Hospitality are known for developing strong talent pipelines. For our PGCC students who are interested in careers in culinary arts and hospitality, what internship or experiential learning opportunities exist within your organization, and what qualities do you look for in students who want to get their foot in the door?
That's a great question. So I have Kyle Thornhill here, who's our director of HR. But through internships right now, we have internships through HR, marketing, IT, training department, operations and restaurants. We currently have a internship at our Colonial Heights location right now. She's in school at VSU, and she's also interning at the restaurant. The skills that we look for are presentation. When you come in for an interview, how do you present yourself? Because you never get a second chance to make a what?
First
impression.
Great first impression. So the more you can present yourself correctly, be well-spoken, be direct, make eye contact, are the qualities we look for. But we're always looking to help grow people. We have the capacity to do a lot of interns, and we don't get a lot from Prince George County or Maryland. So we are looking for people within these counties to come and work with us. So let's teach you, let's learn, let's grow together, because you never know what ideas that you may bring to the table that you didn't realize can be possible.
Wow. All right. Sounds like some opportunities may be looming. All right. Well, thank you so much for having this conversation with us and answering our questions.
Absolutely.
And now we want to open it up to our students. So who would like to be the first person to come on down to the microphone here to my right to ask a question?
Hello.
Hi.
I would like to ask, how do you manage food waste when experimenting with foods and trying to innovate something new?
His question was, how do you manage food waste with innovation? You have to build that into your budget. With a proper budget, you can have a wiggle room for experimentation, but you also have to be reasonable. If I want to create a steak dish, I don't need a 10-pound case of steaks to create a steak dish. I can go to the store and buy 2 steaks, figure out which rub I want, what sauce I want, which presentation I want, and go from there. So being smart about what you're purchasing and how you're purchasing it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mohammed. Next, come on down.
Hi, my name is Yasmin. So I actually work expo at my job now, shift lead and a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
I do pretty much 360 at my job now, but I'm having trouble with being able to get my feelings out of like doing my actual job, because I work with like, I manage like teenagers, like some of them are teenagers, some of them are my age, but it's still like very hard because it's people that's just there to get a check, and then there's people there for their passion, and I'm like one of the few people that's actually there for their passion. So how do you like not mix your feelings but being able to manage the people? You get what I'm trying to say?
I do. It's always important to realize that you can't control how other people feel to an extent. So, and they shouldn't have an impact on your feelings or what you want to do. So if you decide that you want to be a Rockstar Expo and you want to go into management, people are always going to see you in a different way because you have passion and they're just there for a check. So always outwork everybody, because then they have no choice but to follow your direction. And if they don't, then those that are attracted to that type of work ethic will always be there to support you. So don't worry about how they may react, but as long as you're consistent with everybody, then you're going to get the results that you want. But it's easier to say, take your emotions out of it. Everybody says that, right?
Yeah.
But you can gain a stronger rapport with them also. And the more you're able to gain a stronger rapport, the more they can see who you are as a person and say, okay, I know why she's doing this. I have her back.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, who's next? Yeah, come on down.
Hello.
Hi.
Just simple question. What's something you wish you knew before you started now, that you know now?
Something I wish I knew before I started in hospitality or in my current role.
Current role.
Something I wish I knew before I started in my current role. That's a good question.
If you knew then,
If I knew.
you would do it now.
I would say if I knew that I would be impacting so many people's lives, I would have a softer side to me because I'm very direct. I came from a basketball background, and I also coached basketball. So I'm very direct and coached, past tense. Very direct and expect high results from everybody. So I would say be softer, but still holding the standard across the board and learning that skill earlier in my career. But it helped me be a stronger leader today.
Okay. Also wanted to let you know, I also do customer service as well, so I know how it is dealing with random people and their attitudes.
Isn't it fun?
The best.
It's the best. Thank you.
Hello. So you said that food runners and hosts are the face of the restaurant. How would you handle unnecessary behaviors or rude behaviors from customers?
I'm very protective of my team. But if I know that there's a guest or a customer who is contentious or unagreeable, then if I were the manager in the building, then I take care of that guest or that table, and to make sure that my staff doesn't have to deal in a situation that's uncomfortable. Because as an hourly employee, it is not your job to do the manager's job. And if a guest is being unruly, it is our job as managers or leaders to deal with that in however way we see fit within reason. And if we have to at times get the police involved, then we get the police involved. The time of social media, people are always just kind of let people do whatever they want to do. And that's the hard part, because it's like, I'm filming you. And it's like, okay, that's great. But if you're always treating people with respect and you're respectful and your staff sees that, they're going to react that way. People act as the environment allows them to act. And the energy they feel when they walk in the door or when they encounter somebody, they tend to duplicate. So as long as those people interacting with those guests have the right energy, then it ends differently.
Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Thank you for the question. Who's next?
Quick question, because I have a lot of students that I deal with that are kind of quiet, laid back, and I think this generation is a lot more tech savvy than talk savvy. Can you explain to us how important, and again, your HR person is here, how important is communication skills, just basically holding a conversation, and how would you encourage our students now to prepare for an interview or networking or even an internship. So, and if they're laid back, how would you encourage that?
Kyle, do you want to take this one?
Hello, everybody. My name is Kyle Thornhill. I am the HR director for Thompson Hospitality. I oversee all of our different sectors, but one of our sectors that I get to work with Zandrique and this amazing team is our Thompson restaurant group. I also am the director of our intern program. So we have 2 intern programs currently. We have a summer intern program, which is 12 weeks from May to August. And then we also have an embedded intern program currently at our corporate office. The question was, how do you best prepare for kind of intern opportunities? And then how important is communication? So communication is extremely important. I grew up in a very active church environment growing up. So if you ever have experienced that, it puts you on the front stage quite often in your younger years. And I didn't realize how important that experience was and how much it would play into my everyday career, that you have to get up in front of people and have an opportunity to speak and have something ready when you didn't maybe even rehearse or prepare any words. But communication is extremely important. The moment you open your mouth, you know, whatever words you come out of it are being evaluated by your audience. And then when you close your mouth and they start talking to you, they also are evaluating, right? Because if you are done talking and now it's their turn to talk and you put your head down and you get on your phone, that's a part of communication as well. So communication is multifaceted. So understanding all the different forms and versions of communication will help you first. So verbal communication, nonverbal communication, communication where you're not even intending to, mean something to be communicated, written communication, all of that are different components that you really want to make sure that you are prepared, well-versed, and have exposure to. So make sure that you're writing emails, sending them out to people, because your email is going to be critiqued, how word choice, grammatical choice, all of that. But then preparation for an internship experience as well, whether it's an interview or your day-to-day experience on your intern program. I know we talked about interviews and how to best prepare and make a great first impression. That's going to be something very, very important. Coming to your interview with questions about the organization. I won't tell you how many times I've been in an interview and, I've talked now for 35, 40 minutes. And so I say at the end, are there any questions I can answer for you? And you say no. So you know everything about this company. You know how long we've been in existence. You know what our plans are for the next, few years. You know what your role does and how it impacts, people next to you. These are the questions that you want to be able to ask during an interview. Why? Number one, it shows that your level of engagement. If you come back to the table with some questions, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to have an experience with you. That's a communication, a conversation that we're having, and that's going to leave a lasting impression in my head. But also, the level of questions that you're asking will directly show me how involved you want to be in this company. If you just ask me, what day do we get paid? Well, I know what you're here for. But if you ask me, what's some growing opportunities I can have next after this role? Where did you start and did it take you as long to get to where you are now as you thought it would be? These are questions that show that you've got a hunger for the information coming directly from this source that's interviewing you, and it's really good. And then on that day-to-day experience with the internship, last summer, we had probably one of my favorite intern classes that we have ever had. I still keep in touch with some of these individuals on LinkedIn. I helped one of them with a project that they were doing this semester. We absolutely really value our interns. It's a great program. Our CEO really does a lot to pour into our intern program because he was an intern and they got a good start for himself as well. And so the intern program day to day, when you are in an office or you're in an internship experience, use that. We've talked about curiosity here today. Curiosity is going to be your best friend when you're entering into any field especially, but into hospitality as well. Really get curious, ask questions. Why do we do it this way? Whose idea was this? When have we tried something else? What else can I do to learn? Any question that you're asking will give you an opportunity to have more conversation, more connection with different individuals within the company. My boss, who's the senior VP of HR, one of her favorite things is to say to all of our interns or any new person that comes within our organization is take every opportunity that's extended to you. don't turn anything away. You never know where that opportunity will get you, where it will lead you, who it will be with next. Make sure that you meet someone at every event that you go to. Networking will be extremely important in your internship experience. So I hope all of these words have helped to answer the question, but communication is extremely important. There are multiple forms of it, and you want to learn and get exposure to all. Communication will help you propel yourself to your next environment, and also take any opportunity that's given to you.
Kyle mentioned something about oral communication, and Dr. King said a lot of people are shy. It's okay if you're shy and you're trying to develop whichever kind of oral skills that you want. I recommend reading out loud in your room by yourself, because you're able to develop your vocabulary. You're able to hear how you sound saying words. Saying it in your head and saying it out loud are two different things. The more you're used to hearing yourself talk, you can record yourself talk. You'll realize that, okay, I like the way that sounds, or I don't like the way that sounds. The worst thing is seeing yourself on camera. If you go back and look at it, you're like, oh, that's how I sounded. Oh, no. But if you study that and grow from it and really pay attention to how you sound orally, then you're going to be like, okay, now I can build upon that. Same with written emails. We don't write emails anymore. We don't know how to do greetings and endings. So take your time, write emails, write them to your professors. Say, does this sound right? Write them to your managers. Does this sound right? Write them to your parents. Build that skill of writing emails and letters. Thank you letters go a long way also. You interview with somebody, send them a thank you letter. That's gonna put you at top of mind. They're gonna say, oh, you know what? That person has courtesy. That's a skill that you can't teach. They were raised right. That's something that we take into consideration also.
Fantastic. I have a question, and kind of tying with the things that we've been talking about. Opportunities. So we have our classes, and we do encourage internships within our programs. So the students being able to gain work experience while they are students here at Prince George's Community College. But our students come from different demographics. We have high school students that are earning their associate's degree, and then we have graduated high school students that have come to earn their associate's degree. What credentials, criteria might be necessary to be able to gain an internship or work in your environment as it relates to age, as it relates to time and experience?
If you are to handle alcohol, you have to be over the age of 18. If you are younger than 18, from 16 to 18, you can still be a host or a food runner. You can't necessarily handle alcohol. Anything below 16 requires a work permit, which is a different avenue. I'm not sure if you have any 15-year-olds in your program.
We do, but
Okay.
I understand. Yes.
As far as, let's see, what it takes to work with us, we're very flexible of scheduling. We have a lot of opportunity, whether it's front of house, kitchen. It ranges from any background. The more you're able to speak different languages is always a plus. If you're looking for a kitchen, if you're ServSafe certified and you come in with that certification, that puts you heads above people who are just coming in because they want to try working in the kitchen. So that certification is something that I recommend getting, and it helps you also see things differently.
Okay. Fantastic. So you do hire high school students?
We do hire high school students.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions?
What was the toughest part of leading multiple locations?
The toughest part of leading multiple locations is not being able to be everywhere at once. And finding out where the fires are. As leaders, we always try to put ourselves where the fires are because that's where you make the most impact. So trying to see around corners and almost being clairvoyant, understanding that that's the fire that I need to put out, so I need to be there. So not being able to be in everywhere all at once.
Okay.
Thanks, Cherokee. All right. Is that it? Okay.
So my question is regarding your previous answer about alcohol handling. How big of a part of your business or the general restaurant industry do you think alcohol is?
It depends on how much that restaurant makes it important. So our locations range anywhere from, we have some that have no alcohol licenses. We're in the process of getting it, like Woodmore, which is the closest, and anywhere from 0 to 20%. We have locations within Thompson restaurants where their liquor sales are 40% of their sales. So it just depends on the location.
Do you think a restaurant can be successful in this current industry, in this country or state, without like having alcohol be any part of it and growing to be like a big hospitality business like Thompson?
Absolutely. Think coffee shops. A lot of them do not have liquor licenses. And there's a huge field right now for spirit-free beverages or mocktails. A lot of people don't want to drink anymore. They don't like the way it makes them feel. They don't like the liability that comes with it. So they offer very flavorful spirit-free beverages, and we do also, that you're able to experience the flavors of a pina colada, but we may call it a pina nolada or a nojito. Same flavors, just missing the alcohol. You can get the same great flavors that you're expecting, the same flavor profile without that extra kick.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Harrold. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Let's give her a round of applause. And now we'll turn it over to Dr. King.
All right, we're just about getting ready to get out of here. I had just one more. I was just talking to one of the interns, and I said, "You need to go and talk." And, well, that's for culinary arts or hospitality. That's not what I do. Can you just explain to us as a student body the other jobs? Because when we say Thompson, all we think about is I'm going to be working inside of a restaurant. I don't want to serve. Can you give them an idea of all of the other jobs or professions that happens within your organization?
Yes. If I'm imagining our corporate office right now, we have accounting, we have finance, we have HR, we have facilities, maintenance, tech, payroll, IT. So tech, we have a division that only deals with food buy or what am I thinking of? A food buy? Michael and Gary. Inventory management. It's computer systems, IT, over and over again, IT. There's an app for everything right now. If you can create an app, you might have an avenue right there. Training and development. You don't always have to be in restaurants. You can be creating spreadsheets, slides, anything. There's no area of our restaurant that isn't in every other sector of the world. There's law. We hire lawyers because we're a big company. I'm missing. Kevin, am I missing anything else?
Real estate for your expansion.
Real estate, thank you. We acquire properties in real estate. We have construction. Yeah. When I first started with Thompson, I did everything. I was in there with the construction crew. I did hiring. I did procurement. I did accounting. I did labor. I wrote schedules. I did everything. So I would say anything that I expect my team to do, I knew how to do. But also, we have, if you have questions more about that, we can answer those. But we have Kyle here who's doing on-site interviews, and we also have Kevin here who's doing on-site interviews based on your needs. Or if you have questions, if you are wondering, is this a fit for me? What can I do? Can I work not in person? All the things.
Thank you. All right, well, let's give her another hand. Thank you, Miss Harrold.
Thank you so
Please, thank you for coming out.